Towards the end of the race in Indianapolis, it looked as though Ryan Blaney had it in the bag. However, a last-minute decision by NASCAR got Kyle Larson back in the mix and allowed him to take the victory. Naturally, Blaney and his crew were furious at NASCAR for allowing Larson to climb up the grid without consequences. When a last-minute crash caused overtime towards the end of the race, the front row was occupied by Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. However, Keselowski was almost out of fuel and had to come into the pits for a refill. Kyle Larson, who was running in the row behind, came up to the front row alongside Blaney, but on the inside line, which usually goes to the lead driver. During the restart, Larson was able to take advantage of the inside line to get ahead and win the race. And we will make sure that you get the latest news on NASCAR right here on our channel. So no need to browse more for NASCAR content. Just hit that subscribe button and we'll do the rest. After the race in Indiana, Ryan Blaney was furious. There's no way they should have let that go green. That's ridiculous. They just gave it to him, Larson said. It's fucking over. I'm on the top. I ain't gonna win from the top. Gave it to fucking Golden Boy, son of a bitch. 5 get promoted and luck of the day right there, I guess. I don't even know what to be mad about. Mad at losing this race because I thought we were in a perfect position, but once I lost control of the race, and obviously I would have been on the bottom. It stinks to lose it that way. Blaney said this via the post-race interview. With this, you're promoting the third-place guy before the second-place guy if the leader has problems. That's not right, he said. It's dumb luck, right, of where Brad ran out and stuff like this. At this track where the bottom lane is preferred. I don't know, I'm just upset. That's a heartbreaker. We did everything right today. I mean, was in prime position to win, and just didn't work out for us. Just got unlucky. Blaney's problem was that he wasn't allowed to change lanes to the inside. Usually, the driver in the lead takes the inside line during a restart. In this case, Keselowski was the driver on the lead who pit. Ideally, Blaney should have been allowed to take the inside line, giving him the advantage. I don't know the correct answer. If I was in his position, maybe, but with the way the rule is written currently, it's not. It would have taken a couple more laps of caution, because they would have to quickly call off the restart, go single file, and then choose again. And that's kind of boring. Especially on a 2.5-mile track, as time goes by, it's tough. I don't know the right answer for sure, Larson said. I don't know what to be mad about. Mad at losing this race because I thought we were in the perfect position, Blaney said. Once I lost control of the race, obviously I would have been on the bottom lane, but I thought Keselowski would run out in the restart zone or down the back. I don't know. Stinks to lose it that way. I hate we don't get to celebrate with Mr. Penske and everyone at Penske here. That stings a lot. It's basically an open secret that Kyle Larson is NASCAR's poster boy at the moment. He's already won a Cup Series championship and is looking like the favorite to win this year as well. NASCAR has a history of granting favors to Larson. Just a few weeks back, Larson missed the Coke 600 in Charlotte as he was attempting to complete the double, where a driver competes in both the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. Larson was unable to arrive at Charlotte in time as the Indy 500 ran late due to weather conditions. Ideally, Larson should not have been eligible for the playoffs. However, NASCAR decided to give Larson a waiver, allowing him to qualify for the playoffs. This is why Blaney was furious with NASCAR. Here's what Larson said after the race. Just kind of worked out because we had better fuel than everybody in front of us, and they were all kind of stretching it to the end or whatever they were trying to do. Their pace was kind of back down, and they're all bunched up, having a lift early, and I could just make a late dive bomb into the bottom and catch them off guard, Larson said via NASCAR. End of the day, Larson and his crew calculated the fuel consumption properly and took potential overtime into account. Keselowski and his crew failed to do that. But what wasn't right was the fact that Larson was allowed to take the inside line for the restart, which allowed him to win the race. There is also doubt about whether Larson jumped the start. Kyle Larson has been performing exceptionally well this season. The Hendrick Motorsports team owner, Hendrick, shared his compliments of Larson to the media. The way he came through traffic, I mean, I could not believe it. He just gets everything there is out of a car. You just get him even, and he'll take care of the rest. I just could not believe the way he'd set people up, and he rucked the traffic. I asked him, I said, man, that was unreal. And he said, I learned some of that with IndyCar. I said, well, okay, but man, he's a talent. The guy is unreal, Hendrick said. We were so excited about running this car in Charlotte and running the Indy 500, and it didn't work out because of the weather. Had to come back and win this one, And to do it in this paint scheme, and to be able to drive the pace car in a place like this, it's always a great day. I can't believe we won this race 11 times, but 30 years is a long time too, he added. Kyle Larson went to Indianapolis with complete confidence. He raced here earlier this year in a different racing series, the Indy 500. While racing then, he learned a few tricks that not a lot of other NASCAR drivers know about. This helped him battle it out on the track to climb up the order. Throughout the race, Kyle Larson made some impressive overtakes that took him to the second row of the grid before Keselowski pitted and put him in first row. Here's what Jeff Gordon, HMS's vice chairman, had to say about Kyle's performance. What I loved about driving this track is what I loved watching some of the competitors, especially Kyle there at the end do. You're thinking about how to set up a run, right? How do you make these passes happen? Gordon said. He had a good car, a little bit fresher tires. I just enjoyed watching him work that traffic. Whether it was getting a small run off of turn 4, go into turn 1, then just dive in there. Make them look in their mirror, spot or say something to get them off the line. It's all about creativity, finding ways to pass. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to showcase this level of talent during the Indy 500. Although we did see glimpses of his excellence during qualifying and the race, he faced a rather bad restart after a caution that saw him drop places on the grid. Besides, driving the Indy car is much more complicated than NASCAR. Unlike stock cars, Indy cars have several controls on their steering wheels that controls how the car behaves in every part of the track. Larson was still getting used to this mechanism during the race. The last NASCAR race in Indiana marked Kyle Larson's 4th race win this season, and since he has already been given a waiver for missing the Coke 600 in Charlotte, Larson will head into the playoffs as one of the favorites to win it all. He could also be getting some bonus points to help start the playoffs if he is able to finish first in the points table after the regular season. Although Ryan Blaney was furious, he'll be glad that he's still not searching for the race win this season. Despite getting off to a bad start, Ford was able to work through their problems and provide Team Penske with a strong car. This allowed Blaney to get 2 race wins in the second half of the season. At the moment, Larson is leading the points table and will most likely get those extra points. Blaney, on the other hand, is back in 5th place. Going into the playoffs, a driver or two from each is going to stand out as the favorite to win it all this season. From Hendrick Motorsports, it is undoubtedly Kyle Larson, aka NASCAR's poster boy. And for Penske, it looks as though it's going to be Blaney. After all, he is the defending champion. But these two are not the only ones who are going to be battling it out for the win. We got Denny Hamlin from Joe Gibbs Racing, who has been consistently fighting at the front throughout the season. Then we have Tyler Reddick in 23XI Racing. Who do you think will win the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Championship this year? Post your thoughts in the comments section below,